In 2001, Glenn's family decided to spend Christmas in the Dominican Republic. It would be his first travel outside of North America and first time traveling as a wheelchair user. At first, Glenn was nervous, but as with any change, he would find a way to adapt. In 2002, Glenn went to Brazil for 2 weeks, alone. The experience was so invigorating that he's returned 5 times since, spending almost 2 years there. This year, he visited his sister, who lives in Hong Kong. He then went on to spend 4 weeks in Thailand and Vietnam. As a policy, the disabled, elderly, and children board first. Don't miss pre-boarding unless you don't mind the entire airplane full of people staring at you. An aisle chair will take you up and down the aisle. When traveling by airplane, the biggest fear is the dreaded washroom. Nowadays, they are modularly designed, meaning that the typically tiny washroom can be transformed into an accessible one. Problem is, the attendants rarely know how to operate them, as they have probably never had to do so. Bring this up before takeoff. Here are 2 examples of the way the washrooms transform. The person is wheeled back on the aisle chair. The door opens and connects to the opposite wall. A door closes behind the person for privacy. We've seen these washrooms on international American Airlines flights. In another example, 2 regular lavatories are combined into one by removing the divider separating the washrooms. This system is common with international Air Canada flights. As a disabled person, you are last to get off. Accept it. Just relax and watch all the strange people as they hurry off. The rest is luxurious. In most cases, an employee will wheel you through the airport to immigration. With the employee on your side, you bypass lineups for immigration and other checks. If you travel with an able-bodied person, they will love this. It's like VIP treatment. The employee helps you collect your bags and takes you to a taxi. Most hotels are more afraid of you than you are of them. They have never had a disabled stay there. Often, they only have a disabled room so they can say they do. And now, you are putting it to the test. They usually demonstrate their fear of you by overextending a helpful hand. Glenn has had 5 employees help him out of a taxi. They usually take the cheapest, smallest, crappiest room, make some adjustments, and call it a handicap room. Bring your own mirror. The washroom mirror is only low enough to see the top of your head. Complain about what needs to be fixed. This is the only way they'll know. If the room is unsuitable, make sure they all know immediately. This is how you'll get bumped into a first-class room, a room with more space in the washroom and probably more accessible, but only by accident. You will also be a victim of cultural differences. In busy cities, such as Hong Kong, a common sight is massive, high-rise apartments with tiny bedrooms and doorways. It's best to remove your camber and take whatever measures you can to decrease your chair's width. Many third-world countries have different road rules. Since everything is so expensive and people have so little money, they drive safer. Nobody wants an accident. Who can afford repairs? Horns in our Western world are used in anger, to yell at someone who has offended you. In these countries, the horn is a language in itself. It's used to say loudly, "I'm entering the intersection," or "Don't walk across the road, I'm approaching." The first few days of this noise may give you a headache. It is safer in that you can feel safer on the road. Just don't make sudden moves. Nobody wants to hit you. A wheelchair can ride down the middle of the road, undisturbed. If you look around, street-to-sidewalk ramps are common. but they weren't put there for us. Most of the work here is manual, and most vehicles are motorcycles. Ramps are there for them, but can sometimes benefit us as well. Getting around can be easy, whether it's taxi or hitching a ride on a motorcycle. Cyclos are carriages that are used for transportation. Everybody is always willing to help. You have money, and they want to earn it. Often, roads are in horrible condition. These things don't get fixed until people complain. This road, outside Gwen's apartment in Brazil, was eventually fixed. Some obstacles simply remain for years. No one considers them obstacles.
At the logo.
This journey illustrates how a 5-minute walk for an able-bodied person can be a struggle for some. This journey around the block required jigsawing from cobblestone street to crumbling sidewalk.
Tell me if you want help.